Welcome to the Merch Minds podcast, where we discuss everything about the Merch by Amazon business and the print-on-demand industry. Here are your hosts, Glenn and Young.
Merch Informer is the #1 research program for Merch by Amazon. You can do niche research by BSRs, keywords, and even by merchant brand names at your fingertips. You can explore historical data to see exactly what strategies the top sellers are using to succeed. Merch Informer was designed to help streamline your research process and help organize your ideas. Head over to merchinformer.com for a free 3-day trial, and after that, it's just $19.99 per month. Use the coupon code MERCHMINDS for 15% off the entire order. Merch Minds podcast episode number 102. My name is Glenn, YouTube channel Hustler Hacks. Young, what's up?
Hello, my friend. It looks like you got another haircut again.
I got a haircut and then I didn't even comb it today, and so it's just kind of like...
How often do you get a haircut? I try to go like every 3-4 weeks.
I try to go like every 2 weeks, and if I don't, it gets like big time furry.
Okay.
So, and then now, with these dogs, I've been I didn't really comb my hair today. I was just trying to go to the outlets, come back.
So tell us about that. Apparently, you got a couple of dogs all of a sudden.
Yeah, we'll try to do a quick story, but I got 2 puppies, me and the wife, because we talked about it for a while, and then we never really actually went and tried to look for dogs. It just kind of happened. So this time we're like driving home. Someone had like a sign that they had these puppies here. They had their shots, everything, and like I was like, should we do it? And then I was like,
wait, you guys were just driving and they had a sign?
Yeah, we were driving home, and some people they sell I don't know, some people had dogs, some people just sell random stuff. It was like a random Sunday night, and we're thinking about it, and then we saw the sign that they were selling them, and I was like, man, should we do it? Should we see them? We went to go see them, and then I was like, yeah, let's probably meet up tomorrow and see what we can do. We met them up, and then now we have 1 pug and 1 Shih Tzu puppies. So
look at this guy.
Both male.
Both male. Okay. Yeah. Well, but yeah, no, we you showed them before we went on air, and they're definitely cute, man. So it's a lot of work, though, man. It's a lot of work.
Man, a lot of work. Being puppies, you got to train them and
be prepared.
That's nothing compared to babies. I don't know how that is.
Cool, man. Hey, let's get into the numbers.
All right, get into the numbers. I'll go first since usually you go first, but let me.
No, let me go first.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm joking. You go first.
I don't even have my merch numbers.
Then why'd you say you want to go first?
I thought I did. All right, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Oh, and I gotta log in and stuff. All right, here we go.
Log in.
All right. Last 7 days, 117 products sold, 9 returns.
Man.
$364.14 royalties. Yesterday was a pretty good day. It's like 20-something sales. Now, the day before, or 2 days before that, I had a whopping 9 sales for the day. 3 of them were returns. So that put me at 6. I was like, man, this is rough.
It's getting tough, man. It really is. For me, last 7 days, 87 sold, 3 returns, product purchase $1,786.90. Estimated royalties $354.50. So it went down, but I'm sure it'll go up by the end of the day. It's only 2:47 right now, Friday afternoon. So I'm right at the 400 mark in royalties.
I think it's just crazy, how quickly days are going by. I had these I was doing uploads, and then I have these ideas, and then when you really think about it, you're just like, man, today's already over. I'll do the rest tomorrow, upload this amount, and then something else comes up. Well, of course you already know I do Nike Outlet and Ross and all that, but my Nike Outlet had a really good sales. I was focusing more on that. And then I came back. I was like, man, I still got to ship and then do these uploads. So it's been pretty wild lately as far as balancing everything. And then add those dogs in there.
Oh, now you're gonna blame the dogs.
And then,
Oh, I didn't meet my numbers. It's because of freaking dogs or
no,
freaking okay.
it's been more. It's been more on the other part, which is the eBay type sales that's been
Mm,
helping. But
okay. Well, I am gonna say I'm gonna admit that I'm not feeling too good right now. It's not that I have a cold. I don't know. It's just I feel really. I feel like I'm burning up. So it's weird. It's
it's not
weird.
good. You know, the time is the last time we did interviews. You've been sick, which is what the
Look, man,
last
that's when I had a cold. There's something else is going on. I don't know. I think it's my
hot flashes or
hemorrhoids. My,
something.
my my hemorrhoids flaring up or something. I don't know.
Hot flashes.
Hot flashes. Who knows? But so a couple of weeks ago we had our 100th episode.
Yes, sir.
There's still a bunch of people that haven't claimed their prizes. It's been 2 weeks now. On when we did that episode, I said I was going to give them up to 24 hours. Technically, I gave them 2 weeks. I still haven't heard, so I'm just going to do another redraw
Yeah.
this weekend, and then um, I'll let people know who the new names are. So that'll happen this weekend. Pretty merch. I don't know if you use pretty merch. I think you said you don't.
I know. No, I
but
haven't
but
used
they
it.
just got a new update. Harris updated it so you can now see your numbers for international sales.
Okay. Good. Good.
Um, excuse me,
What's going on over there?
dude. Went down the wrong pipe.
Oh man.
So just wanted to let people know about that. Curse words. Have you uploaded any uh, uh, designs with curse words or anything?
I haven't added any more since then. I know that I was
Any
like,
more? So you had some.
well, I had some from the beginning when I first tried it. But not like insanely curse words, like not out of control, but even with the weed shirts and other stuff, like I've just been kind of cautious. Like we talked about uploading one at a time. Maybe I'm kind of overdoing it because I just kind of like I'll do it and I'm like, should I go? I don't know if I should just add more and more. But
Well,
I've
here's the
been
thing.
kind of cautious.
No, here's the thing. You definitely do need to be cautious, and I'll tell you why. Because remember last week we talked about, well, you shouldn't just uh, post a photo of like a penis. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that's an ugly word. If you guys are offended by that, I don't know how else to describe it. But you know how we say you shouldn't just do it, right? Just
yeah,
put a picture of a penis. It's confirmed because someone messaged me and said that they actually tried to do it and they got rejected. Okay, so even though Amazon said we can put curse words and any sexual content and stuff, you still have to be uh, 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 very cautious about the stuff that you're putting up. First of all, the he showed me the design. It doesn't even look like a damn penis. It looks like a mushroom. I don't know whose penis looks like that, but But anyway, but I would say just be careful. Even though Amazon did open up the floodgates, just be careful about the stuff that you guys are posting. Um, so I will say that. Let's see, my Etsy store is picking up. I'm definitely selling more these days. I have been uploading more. Now I don't know if I'm selling more because I've been uploading more because everything that I'm selling have been old designs that's just been sitting there.
yeah.
So I don't know. But Etsy is definitely picking up. One thing I want to mention, Von Glitchka, who you know, right?
Hmm.
We had him on the show about a year, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Graphic designer, illustrator. He's an author. He teaches courses on lynda.com, which is now LinkedIn. He has a great course on copyright on
Hmm.
there. But I know a lot of people they don't want to pay that subscription fee, that recurring subscription fee for lynda.com.
Uh-huh.
So Vaughn agreed to do a live version of the copyright course for the merch community. It's going to be $20. That's it. He's going to
Nice.
do a live version. There's going to be a live Q&A after the course. He'll answer all your questions. Um, I think that's a bargain to educate yourself on copyright and how all that works, especially in this line of business. And with our guest today, he's going to actually talk a little bit about copyright and stuff like that because he had a bunch of people steal his artwork. So it's good to educate yourself. That's going to happen sometime in November. I'll keep you guys posted. Anything, Glenn, on your end?
No, pretty much. I mean, everything is. I mean, I did upload more pop sockets. I haven't seen any sales from those new uploads. They have been like slowly becoming more live. Like, because I tried searching for them, 3 days, 4 days after. Most of them still weren't on there, so they're like, slowly getting their way on there. But we'll see what happens. I'm kind of curious to see how these pop sockets do. But
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah. And also, the kid that I found, the illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
He has taken on some clients, and everyone's been happy. He's been delivering.
There we go. That's what I like
Everyone's happy. No complaints. I think he took on about 5 or 6 clients. So if you guys are interested, shoot me a message. Everyone's going to go through me because look, I know how this works. Okay, the merch community. If I give you guys access to his personal contact information, you guys gonna do something stupid. Hey, let's work out a deal where I can pay you $2 per design. I'm not falling for that trick. I'll be the liaison. You guys want to hire him? Just come through me. Message me. Um, let's talk about our guest this week. Did you know about our guest?
I'd seen his artwork, I think, in some of the groups, but we hadn't talked anywhere like how you guys had already talked.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure if you knew of him. But we're talking to BeeJay DeLong. He's out in Ohio, and a really good guy. Does phenomenal work as far as illustrations, caricatures, things like that. I mean, but he does it all, right? He can do cartoons, he can do serious, really really good stuff. And I really encourage you guys before you listen to the interview to go to his Facebook page or go to his Instagram profile and just look at some of the stuff that he's doing because again, these are high quality stuff, man. These are really good stuff. And I actually want to hire him to do some work for us, maybe, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
See what his price is.
Yeah. Give us a deal, BeeJay. Huh? $5.
$5.
I know you said don't charge the public $5, but $5 for us behind the scenes. We're homies now. $5.
We'll see if that slides.
We'll never hear from him again.
I know.
But BeeJay DeLong from Ohio, that's who we're talking to this week. So we are live, and we have a special guest. I'm actually super excited. He is a great artist. He's very humble, and someone that I respect, not like someone that we had on the show previously. I won't mention any names. Eric Rosner. But BeeJay DeLong, yes?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. BeeJay, welcome to the show. First of all, the way we met was you had reached out to me when we were doing the 100th episode and you said, hey, I want to donate a custom design to a winner. I was like, sure. And I looked at your profile. You do some amazing work, man. So tell us about yourself.
Appreciate it. So yeah, I've been honestly drawing for my whole life. Went to school for graphic design and then really didn't do anything with it too much full-time professionally until a couple of years ago. Always did it kind of part-time on the side, and then I've been doing full-time freelance illustration and graphic design now for about the past 2 years. With mine, I mean, really focus on the illustration part of it. That's my kind of thing, is the drawing from scratch and stuff like that. So but I've been doing that for the past 2 years, and then I also teach a graphic design class 3 days a week at a local nonprofit. So
Yeah, and then we'll talk about that because I think that's super cool what you're doing. But so you said you've been drawing all your life. So I mean, at what point? Because I told my story. Like, I always say, well, I was introduced to graphic design back in '89, but I didn't start doing it professionally until about 10 years ago. So like, at what point did you say, okay, this is something that I want to do professionally?
Honestly, I would say probably junior high or high school is what I started looking at. I mean, I've been using Photoshop now since, 92 or something like that. So my problem with the graphic design part of it, per se, was when I got into college, it was more of the graphic design side instead of the illustration. Being young and dumb, you think that like everything's going to work out perfectly and everything, your career choice is going to work out just the way you want, and college is going to work out great. But getting into college, I love to draw, and drawing was not a part of the graphic design program at all. I mean, it was here and there, but all the professors and stuff couldn't draw a lick. So
Exactly.
I kind of got jaded by the whole thing, I guess. And, yeah. That's why I said I focused more so on the illustration side. So.
Yeah, no, and it's something that we talk about on the show is like when people hear the term graphic design. I mean, I guess it's fair to say that a graphic designer that does everything from illustration to hand lettering to UX UI design is kind of a unicorn. They're really rare, right? I mean, everyone has their own style, their own unique things that they do, and you focus on illustration, like you were saying. Because I know when I was going to college, like you were saying, like we didn't really focus on the illustration part. Glenn, what were you guys doing?
We did there was typography was one of the courses.
Exactly. Yeah.
Two of them were the same thing over and over again. Like one of them was just building up a portfolio, and I was like, didn't we already do this 2 semesters ago? And it seemed kind of repetitive. I was really hoping when I was in school that they were going to go through web design and things like that. And for some reason, they focused in on packaging, and it's I'm not physically gonna make a box. It was a little weird, but
yeah, no, and that's the thing, right? So like I said, I mean, I think at one point we did have a drawing class, but it wasn't like anything what you're doing, BeeJay. I mean, like I said, you're have you seen some of his work, Glenn?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask him. So I've seen both styles, cartoony type of things, and I've also seen highly detailed, or just kind of monsters, mummies type of thing. Do you prefer to do both, or do you like one more than the other?
Honestly, I like to do both, just to be versatile for the client needs. And honestly, if you keep on with one style, I feel you get stuck in, people, you might get known for that style, but you're so stuck in that style and people know what to expect. So just doing everything kind of helps out, getting more clients and getting your name out there, and just moving even past illustration. I mean, I'd paint and sculpt and a little bit of everything. So
get out of here! You sculpt too?
Yeah, I sculpt too. Wow. Yep, sure enough. So yeah, I like to do both, and it really just depends on the need of the actual client or the need of the design. So a lot of the more detailed stuff like that is more geared towards something a band would use, or something you would see on a t-shirt at a rock concert. So obviously the cartoon stuff's not going to work for that. So it's kind of cool to be able to do both of it and do it well to where you can offer both services. So
yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you don't mind me asking, what were you doing a couple of years ago? You said you had a full-time job. If you don't, I mean, I don't know if that's something you want to disclose.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I was in retail management. So yeah, and that was what I said with college. I got really jaded, especially where I was located at before. Just the jobs in the area weren't paying that much, even if went through and got in at a firm right away. I found out, honestly, retail management, I was making more. So it was more of just one of those things, having to do what I needed to do and be happy, and still, did the illustration stuff on the side, and, made some spare cash for that and doing it more for a hobby. But, keeping the love there was kind of nice instead of it feeling like a job, and doing stuff that I didn't want to do. Now I'm to the point with clients that I have that I'm doing, stuff that I like and I enjoy, and, I'm getting these clients because they like my style, and I don't kind of have to do stuff that I don't want to, and just worry about strictly graphic design and doing this, like you said, the box for this cookie company or this poster for this company that's just all typography, and kind of get to add my flair in there. So.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so for maybe for someone that hasn't seen your work, what type of clients do you have? I mean, I've seen some here. It looks like a little mixture of like card games or like things like that. What do you also do, like different, I guess like cartoons or illustrators or people that have ideas for YouTube, or I guess explain a little bit on your clients.
Yeah, I've done actually a lot of like the YouTube headers and stuff like that. Card games has been absolutely huge the past few years. I think I'm on my 5th or 6th card game in the last 2 years. So that's been awesome. And I mean, that's fun because that works right into that cartoon style. Mm-hmm. So with that, I'm getting clients because they see that cartoon style, and that's exactly what they want for their card game. So with that, I've done a couple for a couple companies out in Germany that's been drinking games because Germany loves to drink. So I just finished up one. We're working on it was a Kickstarter game. It got funded. I had the whole game done going into it, and right now we're working on the Not Safe for Work packs for it. They got funded on Kickstarter, but that's from a guy out in LA that's doing that. And there's some kind of behind the scenes stuff in the works that could blow up out of that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, other than that, merch stuff. The past couple months have been kind of cool. I did some merch designs for Macaulay Culkin, so he's one of my clients now, which is pretty dope.
That's cool.
So yeah,
Macaulay Culkin. The Home Alone kid, huh?
Yeah, sure enough.
He's not the cute kid anymore, though, is he?
No, he's cute. He's so cute.
So just out of curiosity, what did you do for him? I mean, I know because I obviously saw your Instagram.
Yeah, it was the merch design. It was like a melting piece of pizza, and then it had bunny ears on top of it. He's got a new podcast out called Bunny Ears, and they've got a website, bunnyears.com, which is kind of a good website because they're taking on the whole idea of just the ridiculousness of Gwyneth Paltrow and her Goop website, where they sell that like bullshit new age stuff where you're supposed to put like jade eggs up inside you to like manage your chakra and all that. So they make a site that's like a kind of a parody of that. But yeah, since he back in the day was in a band called the Pizza Underground, and there's always this pizza theme being regurgitated. So, but yeah, throw a pair of bunny ears on there and stuff. And wasn't sure what he was going to do with it. It was going to be T-shirts or what. But he actually turned them into enamel pins, which are pretty dope. So, turned out really good.
So how do you find your clients, or do they find you? And if so, how are you finding your clients, or how are they finding you? Is it just word of mouth, or just Google search?
Yeah, it's a mix of everything, man. Google search and social media. I use Instagram, I use Twitter, and then also it kind of sounds weird to do it, but just doing stuff to get your name out there is what I can give my best piece of advice for people wanting to get their name out. And just do some fan art stuff, man. People will see your stuff and they'll get it reposted. Fan art's actually how I ended up in merch. There was a design that I did as a fan art piece for a podcast that's pretty big. They ended up reposting it on their Instagram and ended up having like 20,000 likes on their Instagram. And the community manager for TeePublic contacted me and said, "Hey, your stuff's awesome. Have you used TeePublic before?" Started looking into it, and of course, TeePublic's royalties are pretty garbage. So I started looking to see if there was anything else around, and that's when I heard of merch, which I talked to you, I think, before about it. Was I heard of merch right when it first came out, but the way it was initially geared, it sounded like it was for just for the app developers on the Fire platform, and for their games and stuff. So I looked into it and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not doing that kind of stuff. I'd done some app development for the iOS before and wasn't something I wanted to get back into. So I was like, oh, never mind on this. And then, after finding out about merch after, I'm like, man, that stuff I could have been doing this from the start, but, kind of missed it. So after looking it all up, that's how I got into merch after that TeePublic person reached out to me, which still doing that, but obviously seeing the most on merch. So
yeah. So what tier are you on?
I am on the 1,000 tier.
On the 1,000 tier, and Glenn, he told me something because we spoke earlier this week. He told me something, and it's shocking. He said that he's catching up to us at the 1,000 tier.
Oh man! I mean, look at these illustrations are out of control.
They're ridiculously good, man. Yeah. And for the listeners, that want to hire him, okay, you take your fucking $5 jobs to Fiverr, okay? He's not $5 here. We're talking high end stuff. But yeah, no, they're ridiculously good. That 1,000 tier, and he's catching up to us. If you don't mind sharing, because I know some people don't want to share. Do you want to share your numbers with us?
I can share. I only pulled up. Yesterday was garbage, so it kind of skewed things a little bit. But the last 7 days, 79 products sold, 1 return. Revenues $1442.21. Estimated royalties $321.11.
What?
There we go.
So his ratio.
One sale for the UK. One sale for the UK for £4. So I haven't done much with the UK and Germany.
I haven't either. I don't think neither of us have really. So I mean, what is your strategy? Like first of all, are you under just one brand? And if so, like, do you have a specific niche? So I found out earlier that it's not niche, it's niche. Do you have? I heard that. Or are you just kind of all over the place and just putting out quality stuff?
I'm trying to put out quality. I'm kind of all over the place, to be honest with you. Okay. If I see something, I mean, I'll do super saturated stuff. And then I finally got AMS, so I figured if I do super saturated stuff and can use the AMS to, get up and get seen, it's going to work out, which I started on AMS, haven't got, huge amount of traction yet, but it's kind of a learning curve thing. So I started out under one brand, and then I was doing text-based and illustration just to fill slots. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to kind of separate those. So I've got one brand kind of for the text-based stuff and one brand for the illustration stuff.
I got you.
So that's kind of what I'm focusing on. And then every once in a while, if I don't feel that it fits either, I might just not put it under a brand and just do it like everybody else does. Sure. Like, honestly, my thing was, because I know we had talked before about coming on the show, my thing was I was going to be the first person to just say my brand on the show because
do it.
My thing is like, no, I'm not going to now. after this past week, it's been ridiculous. So, like I follow trends and follow on stuff. One of my shirts I've got, it's the number one spot on that niche right now. Okay. So my idea, okay, I'm going to come in and say my brand, because if you want to go ahead and try to make a better design, go for it type of thing. But dude, people are so ballsy. Like, I couldn't believe I've had to file 12 takedowns in the past week.
There's the exact copies?
4 of them were pixel for pixel, and then the rest, which I was going to bring up because maybe people hear pixel for pixel and they're like, well, I'm not taking, the exact design and uploading it. Somebody dropped out the background on it and uploaded it. Another person kept it exactly how it was, added these really bad, like, alternating, like, gradients of black lines behind it, and then added an extra word. They tried to match the font that I used, but they couldn't. That one was up there, and then somebody else, like, just put like it into Photoshop or whatever and changed the hue on it and put that up. So yeah, before I was like, oh, I'll say my brand on here, and if people want to, do their own takes on it. But now seeing how many people are just straight ripping the exact design, like, no,
it's nuts. And you know what? I kind of want to just give this a plug. I don't know if you ever heard of Von Glitchka.
Is that what you posted the other day?
Yeah, so he's a designer based out in Oregon, and he has a course on copyright on lynda.com, and he's agreed to talk about exactly what you're talking about now. He's going to do like a live version of his course, because I know a lot of people, they don't want to subscribe to the to lynda.com, so he agreed to come and do a one-time live version of that course. And he talks about exactly what you just talked about, how just because you take a design, and if the design is of someone smiling, but then you turn it around and make him frowning, that doesn't make it original. You're still copying someone's design. But yeah, he talked, he's going to come and talk about that. But yeah, so that's, and stuff like that, people should learn, they should be educated, but at the same time, they should just go out and just hire a real designer. I just don't get the whole going the cheap route. It really irritates the hell out of me.
Yeah, you're going to get those savages out there that are just going to, they're going to do it anyway. Either, for one, they want to try to just make quick money and, just try to ride that trend off of the good shirt. Or someone hired somebody cheap and they have no clue that they're, getting someone else's design and making these minor little small tweaks and thinking that's okay. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But so you're into doing merch. You said you're in the 1,000 tiers. Did you mention how many shirts you have live?
I'm maxed out right now. I got a full all 1,000 live. So
okay. Are you doing pop sockets?
Right, yeah, pop sockets been good. I think I'm selling like you said on the previous one, that they're my number 2 right now. Yeah. And I'm selling like 40, 50 of them a month. So they've been pretty good. And I found some of my illustration designs that haven't worked on t-shirts are selling like crazy on pop sockets. So those have been pretty fantastic. I'm happy with those. With those, I've just been keeping the $14.99 price point. I haven't been adjusting up or down, just keeping them at that. I found it's kind of the sweet spot. So
So BeeJay, I want you to kind of give us a sense of if whether you're doing your own design or if a client approaches you and they hire you, what exactly goes into like the exact routine, the time? Because again, it goes back to what we were saying. I'm just sick and tired of people trying to hire like talented people like you for like $5. I want you to tell us like what's your exact what goes into every design that you make, every illustration.
So everything like that. If it's for me, I kind of have a better idea, right off the bat what I want to do. If it's for a client, obviously, I talk to them, try to get the feel for what they want. I'll ask for, some ideas as far as if it's just a color palette of stuff that they want, if they want to send through a design, not even related to what they're doing, just so that I know what they're thinking color-wise. If it's a certain design that they're looking for, send in some inspirations that I can get an idea of what they're wanting to go with, because there's nothing, more disheartening to both me and a client that you work on something, you send a sketch out, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's not at all what I was talking about, So it saves time, and then especially, too, you'll have some clients that you'll have the sketch done, and they sign off on it and approve it, and then, you send the final, and it's, oh, no, can we change this? Can we change this? And, of course, once you've got everything laid down, it's a lot easier to lock that down in the beginning stages and the sketch stages. So, yeah, I usually send through a sketch. A lot of times I might send like 2 or 3 to give them, A, B, or C choices to get us closer, and then we can kind of combine stuff off of each of those. And then usually after that, I'll do a line layer, send that through to make sure that that's cool. And then once that's approved and signed off on, I'll do the flats layer and then highlight shadows if it needs it. So
sure.
That's the process.
Yeah. So he basically got done telling the listeners that he's giving his clients at least 2 to 3 concepts so they can choose. And, all that takes time. So, again, this is quality stuff. Glenn, did you have any questions?
I guess I just want to talk a little bit more about your merch journey. So how many months have you been in merch then?
I think I got in either in January or February. And then when I first got in, my client load at that time was through the roof. So I uploaded a few things real quick without doing a whole lot of research and didn't really, keep track of how they were going, adjust keywords and stuff like that. And then around April or May is when I started getting back into it and really picking it up and kind of going from there. So I've been really hard into it for, the past, 6 months.
Nice.
Okay. And for like the newbies trying to, let's say, get out of like 10 or 25 tier, what did you do to get out of that?
Honestly, I use the same advice that a lot of the people give. I know Matt gives it, and it's stickied in the top of, one of the groups is I priced everything to make no profit. So, I just put it at the flat 12, whatever, and went from there and worried about getting out of those lower tiers because, really it is a numbers game. Once you have, more shirts up, you're going to get more sales. So, it's one of those things you gotta get to those higher tiers quickly. And, the good designs don't honestly necessarily mean that you're going to get a sale right off the bat. I had some killer designs to begin with, but a lot of the time too, I was designing for me. I was designing for something, you know, I thought people would like, and sometimes they were too complicated, and they didn't really work well with the merch platform. That's one thing I had to learn along the way, is to really stop designing with like a graphic design background in mind and really design for that thumbnail, just because it's so important when people are scrolling through that you might know the perfect placement, how this looks awesome on a shirt, you know, and it might be this upper area of the shirt right across here. But if it's too small and it looks perfect, like in real life, it's not going to show up right when you're flipping through that. So
no, that's what Ken Real always talks about, you know, designing for the thumbnail. He's really big on that.
Yeah, I use, honestly, most of the time I'll use the whole canvas to you know, use for my design. And you know, if it doesn't need it, it's kind of hit or miss. It depends on the situation, but if it allows it, yeah, man, I use the whole thing. So that's one of the tips I give. Seriously, just once you put your stuff up, flip back through and see if you're flipping through and you see it on the screen, would you stop? That was my biggest problem, is that once you click through and you do that in large, and oh man, this looks awesome. You can see all the lines, the detail, but a lot of those details are going to get kind of, you know, just smushed together on the smaller thumbnails. So yeah, price low, get out of there, do your research, get on trends. If you can, you know, hit a good trend, it's going to get you pretty far pretty quick. So as long as you catch it fast, then put out something good. If you put out a good design in a trend right away that nobody else can do, you're going to blow everybody else away.
Absolutely. So, BeeJay, I know you mentioned that we had talked earlier this week, and you told me something I thought was really cool. You're actually, and you mentioned this earlier, so you're teaching graphic design 3 times a week. Tell us about that.
So there's a nonprofit studio in town, and it's geared towards the developmentally disabled community here in town. And they have an actual art studio open 5 days a week. And a few years ago, they had got a grant from, I think it was UPS, for 2 Macs in there. They got Wacom tablets, the whole 9, and they just sat there for a couple of years. And I kind of fell into it through some acquaintances and saw that they were looking for somebody, and figured, you know, it's just 15 hours a week. I was doing, you know, the full-time freelance thing, and, you know, sitting in the house sometimes all day can get kind of boring. So I was like, 15 hours a week, man, I can get out and kind of give back and stuff like that. So it's cool. They, you know, forked over. We got the whole Creative Suite on the computers. So they're learning the stuff that they would use like in the real world. So they're in Photoshop, they're in Illustrator, they're doing stuff. They've got a merch account now for the studio. So when we go in there, you know, they do research and they learn how to make designs and throw them up. So it's pretty awesome.
That's cool. Tell us about that one particular student, because that was very heartwarming.
Oh yeah. So the one guy, he actually has MD. He's in a wheelchair, has limited mobility. As far, I mean, he can just somewhat move his thumbs and fingers, just barely. And we've actually got a PS4 controller mapped to the Mac. And it's got all the buttons set up so the sticks control the mouse, and the X buttons the left click, and then the circle buttons the right click, and he can do absolutely everything on Photoshop. Short of the keyboard shortcuts, but yeah, everything else he can do on Photoshop with a PS4 controller. It's pretty awesome.
That is super cool, man. When you told me that story, man, it was very heartwarming, and thank you, man, for donating your time, because I really, we joke a lot on the show, but I'm being completely sincere. We definitely need more people like you in the community, man. I mean, that's awesome.
Man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Glenn, one thing he did mention, he said his daughters, they don't even resell, but they watch you. I don't get it, man. Everyone watches fucking Glenn. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, we watch YouTube on like the Fire TV and through the Silk browser. It's got like the automatic play stuff, and we'll be sitting there watching Shane Dawson. And then all of a sudden, like one of your RA videos from Ross will come up, and we'll just sit there and watch it.
No.
They don't even watch you, man. This guy's freaking. Hey, look.
Yeah.
It's an honor for me to be working with a celebrity here, huh?
Right.
I've said it 100 times. I'm nobody.
You got 16-year-old girls in Ohio that know who you are.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. But speaking of Shane Dawson, I know you and I talked, and hopefully we can get you into collab. Any word from Amazon?
Nothing yet. So
okay. I did hear it's a slow process. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm trying to get BeeJay approved for collab because I mean obviously your skills and your talent belongs on collab. I just like I said when we talked earlier this week, I just couldn't do it, man. I tried sitting there watching Shane Dawson. I was like, fuck this, man. I can't do this.
Yeah, it's kind of cringy sometimes, but I don't know. It's just it autoplays stuff, so I'll sit there and watch it with her. I don't care.
Yeah, well you said you watch it with your daughters, so you have no choice.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool.
Yeah. Hey man, thanks for being here. Where can people find you?
So people can find me online. My website's beejaydel.com. It's BeeJaydel.com. And then I got all my links on there on Instagram, Twitter, BeeJay Del. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Snapchat, nope. I don't do Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll have your information in the show notes too, man. Hey, thanks so much for being here. I'm definitely gonna hire you at some point.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Glenn, any last questions?
No, appreciate you coming on, and we'll definitely do probably a catch up, maybe a couple of months, and see after Q4 what's going on, how your sales have increased by then, and see what's going on.
By then he'd be like on the 12,000 here, making us look like chumps. And then I'll be like, hey, don't invite this guy anymore.
He's not allowed on the show
anymore. He's embarrassing us.
Oh man.
Thanks, BeeJay.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And I've been listening to you guys since the beginning. I'm more into podcasts than anything. I sit and drive and listen to podcasts, and you guys were my first one that I found. So I've been down with you guys since I started. So it's
awesome.
Appreciate
a privilege and an honor to be on. So
thank you, sir.
All right, thanks.
Cool guy, man. What you think?
Cool guy, awesome work. And really, I guess people should just go to his website and check it out. He's done like Unicorn Zombies thing, the Macaulay Culkin stuff, which he talked about, the card games, like a lot of cool stuff. Not stuff that anybody can just randomly do.
But apparently they're stealing his work, though.
Oh yeah, no, that's something that a lot of people can do. Is still work until they get caught. Then it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we're telling you guys about, right? I mean, invest in high quality stuff. That $5 stuff from Fiverr. I'm not going to get into it, but that stuff like that doesn't work. Nothing's guaranteed to sell, but still, I mean, it's just always good to invest in good stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So what's going on with you, man?
This weekend, pretty much just try to catch up on everything: videos, listing, and merch. With I have my first set of ideas, so I need to counter that with the designs, and then I can get some uploads. So I'm just hoping for a super busy weekend, and then after that I leave Ecom Chicago. So if you're in Chicago, you're going to that, let me know. You can email me hustlerhacks1@gmail.com.
That's next week?
Yeah, that's already next week.
What day are you leaving?
I should be there. Well, the event's on Thursday. I gotta double check. I'll be there either Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. I gotta double check.
Okay, cool.
So,
but the show must go on. I'll still be around next week. So
that's what I like to hear.
We'll work something out. But yeah, man. Other than that, let's see. What am I doing this week? This weekend? Not a damn thing, man. I'm just gonna rest, man. Like I said, I'm not feeling too good right now.
Yeah, I need you 110%.
200%. So yeah, I'm just gonna rest this weekend. But yeah, guys. Glenn, where can people find you?
Right here, Hustler Hacks on YouTube.
Okay. And you guys can email me at yang@geekhustle.com or just tag me or message me on Facebook.
There we go. See you next week.